There's a growing push for workplaces to introduce heartbreak leave, which would allow employees to take time off following a breakup. Now, a parliamentary bill was introduced in the Philippines earlier this year, which proposed workers should be eligible for up to 3 days of unpaid leave. And a bunch of quote-unquote experts have lined up in the Nine papers this weekend to say that we should consider it here. Now, the Cebu Century Plaza Hotel in the Philippines has actually introduced 5 days of paid leave for workers after a breakup. Joe, what do you reckon? I mean, there's leave for basically everything nowadays. We keep being told that women, or what do we call them? We don't call them women anymore. People who have periods or something like that should be given menstrual leave, so that's extra leave on top for when you've got your period, etc., etc. Just add it to the list.
Look, this is all very well for the Cebu Plaza Hotel, but what about the Heartbreak Hotel?
Oh, very good, Joe.
Terrible.
If everyone who worked at the Heartbreak Hotel, do you know it? Have you ever been there? It's down at the end of Lonely Street. If everyone there took heartbreak leave, there'd be no one to do room service, no one to carry your bags. It'd be a disaster. No, I actually think all of this stuff, including, why do you have to specify each particular type of incapacity that people can have to work? Why wouldn't you just have, sick leave? If you're so, heart sick leave. If you're that love sick that you can't function, then okay, fine. If you're actually incapacitated by it, okay, that would have ruled me out working for my entire teenage years. But I didn't do much anyway, so that's okay. But again, it's the same with, I've always had this sort of issue with domestic violence leave as well. Like, obviously, of course, women should be able to, or men too as well, should be able to access that and get all the time off they need. But the idea of having to go and tell your boss that you are accessing this particular type of
category
leave, it's just like, really, you might not know your boss that well. You might not, but why wouldn't you just incorporate that into, sick leave or, whatever else, legal leave?
Constantly coming up with new reasons is the problem. I mean, in this sort of instance, what you do, Joe, is you just take your holidays. That's what you've got holidays for. If you do a bit of long service leave, take a bit of long service leave. You don't have special reasons. Yeah. Someone will apply for bad hair day leave. And then they discovered the application came from Chris Kenny, and they were really...
we're poor old Chris.
There's
a few other people we can rag on here. James McPherson, who'll be up in the next program. I always bag him about the lack of hair on his head. But the thing, Caroline, is surely if you have an issue, you need a few days off, you just go and talk to your boss about it, right? I mean, why do we need to legislate all of these things? Or, and this is the suggestion all the time, whether in this case it's heartbreak leave, which seems a bit silly. But there is every day a different suggestion about a new category of leave that should be added. Why does any of this need to be legislated? It should be between you and your boss.
Absolutely. And it's one of those things where the legislation is created to interfere in relationships, which those relationships, people should have those relationships with that, but maybe not necessarily your boss knows your entire personal life. But if there is an issue, you should be. It is between the two of you. Again, this is something which just creates another artificial barrier, just another complication, another thing that normal everyday people in the workplace have to kind of get around and manage. Most people have never asked for this, and all of a sudden it's their problem to deal with it.
Also, wouldn't you be better off in the workforce? Like, the last thing you want if you've been dumped is to sit around moping and go, oh, I wonder if you have a job.
Precisely.
It's not coming back if you don't have a job, mate.
Precisely. And that was last year I went through a breakup. It'd been a 3.5-year relationship. And my bosses here actually said to me, if you want any time off, let us know. I said, absolutely not. I want to be at work moving on with things, because if you sit around and mope, you just feel sorry for yourself. God, we've become so soft, haven't we?